Danny! Here's this will be my next video. This is the other what I find to be foundational practice of body work and release. Um, this is an interesting thing. I've been hearing about something like this for a while, but I've just discovered a do-it-yourself approach that this person teaches that is actually effective. Most do-it-yourself body stuff is marginally effective. It makes you feel a little better, but you gotta like kind of go to the therapist or the Indian guru or whatever to get the full effects. This one is one of the rare techniques that may be like the breathing one that you can do on your own that can be powerful, very powerful. This is called TRE, or traumatic release exercises, or tension release exercises, because it can do both. This was developed by a guy who was a trauma researcher. I know you don't care about the whole past and theory too much, but this one, I was telling Mom about this. There's a particular response that animals and children have when they're overly stressed, and like afterwards they get rid of that charge or acutely traumatic event. Peter Levine, the well-known trauma therapist and researcher, he noticed back in the 70s or 80s on nature shows, just watching them, that like polar bears, when they would be like captured and played with and researched, and then like set right when they're released and the meds start to wear off them, they'll like either fall to the ground or something. They'll just like tremor, like a seizure, but like a tremor, like for a little while, and then they'll just get up and go off their merry way like nothing happened. Animals like a zebra, like that'll escape a tiger, let's say, it'll do the same thing. It'll tremor for a while and then start going on its life like nothing happened. Adults don't do this very often. I've seen it as a paramedic a little bit, but mostly with children who are very stressed during a hard event. Children don't know not to do this. We're taught as adults we are scared of anything we can't control. Loss of our bowels, our puking, or letting go of our breathing, orgasm, anything that's involuntary in our bodies that we can't control. Of course, as much we can't control outside of us, we wish we could control and pretend we do cognitively. But with our over cortical, or just top down brain control of our cells, our bodies, our reflexes, our autonomic, think of automatic nervous system, we do not let this specific reflex occur like it does. This is it's pretty new, but it's called neurogenic tremors. It's a way the organ mammals, particularly I believe, kind of discharge stress and trauma, overcharge of stress and trauma in their somatic system. It's basically it's a type of reflex. Basically, it's very primal, very basic, very it's a very new experience for adults if you start to experience it. So what this does is it discharges what we have held in our bodies. As simple as that. And this has been found to, if you can get to this point by any means, especially if you've had traumatic issues in your life, which we've all had to a certain extent, it can be very liberating, and people experience a lot of things. So, not sure what else to say about this. Something you kind of had to experience, but it's this is done by this is from the man who created this, Dr. whatever, forget his name. He there's videos on some of it, but you have to like buy his books to get the whole thing, so I had to buy a book last night. It's induced by 7 different exercises that specifically target and fatigue the psoas muscle, which is a muscle where I believe a lot of the nerves, we call the caudal nerves, I think, where your spine kind of branches out in your lower back. It's deep to your pelvis from at least posteriorly. It basically connects your diaphragm with your pelvis, your sacrum, and it's almost like it's a gatekeeper of your more primal nerves from like your legs, pelvis, and it seems to have something to do with like, I don't know, stress, or something to do with it's somehow the seat of this reflex. I'm not an expert at it, but it's what this man found was being able to fatigue this muscle and hold it just right in certain postures. He's able to induce that reflex, which eventually, I think it's a practice. You have to practice it and experience it enough times that it eventually can go through your body more and more layers of tension can be released naturally and painlessly. So let me show you the basic exercises in this book. The exercises. It's one approach. There's no like advanced and beginner. It's just one thing. So first thing, and I'm gonna have to play around with this computer a little bit, so bear with me. Oh, there we go. So this part hasn't stopped doing it that well. Oh, let's move the computer around. How's this gonna work? Bear with me. Bear with me. So the first one, you want to, you're basically doing, you're having one leg up, you balance yourself against the wall, and you're doing a bunch of calf raises. It says do like 15 or so, but do it until your calves and your legs burning a bit. So go up on your toes, simple as that. And then you go to the other side, and just calf raises. Lower yourself down slowly so you get that burn. So you like raise yourself up, down, and then kind of shake your legs a little bit. So, sorry, get my book here. Okay, so simple calf raises. The next step is a squat type thing. So what we're doing here, my legs are really stiff. One leg behind you, legs on the floor. You're doing like almost like a one-legged squat. Just do this about, I don't know, 10, 15 times. You see my legs back, arms in front of me, up and down, up and down. And then other side. It's like this. I don't know if you can see that. See? Next page. Oops. Yeah, here he is. So he's doing a squat. It's number 2. So there's variations, but you'll be able to do them physically. The other one, this is easy. Have your legs wide, hang down, simply hang down. Remember the stretch we used to do in karate? Oh, okay. See there. All right. So take 3 deep breaths. Then you move to one side. I'm just going to stretch a little bit. Take 3 deep breaths. Then move to the other side. 3 deep breaths. Then you'll bend back like this. Take 3 deep breaths here. And back here. Yeah, that's that. So down, side to side, through your legs, 3 deep breaths for each section. Alright, the next one. Okay. Have your legs a little wider, shoulder width. Put your hands behind your lower back and kind of arch yourself. So you're doing, it's called a bow actually. This is from Bioenergetics. Like that. You're going to bend back a little, not too much, but just bend back a little bit and take 3 deep breaths here. Then twist and look behind you a little bit, behind your shoulder, keeping your feet down the floor and straight. So twist to one side, 3 deep breaths. Twist the other side. You want to really twist your pelvis. Like stretch your pelvis. 3 deep breaths. And forward. 3 deep breaths from here. That's that is that one. That was number 5. Number 6, you'll love this. Simple. It's gonna be cold. Simple squat. You would know this. Simple, sit against the wall, like in a squat position. Easy enough, but you're supposed to do this for about 5 minutes. So, I did this yesterday and today after hiking, and my legs, I couldn't do it. It was destroying me. But you do this for 5 minutes, you may feel your legs start to tremble a little bit. Just let that happen. So yeah, time about 5 minutes there for a squat against the wall. Ugh. Once you do the squat, you just want to just bend forward and just have your, actually there's this right particular way you got to do this, for about 2 to 3 minutes. You want to just be, so you bend down, your hands are just touching the ground, you're not exactly stretching your back, but you're kind of pushing up with your feet, so you kind of got to stretch there, on your back of your legs and your calves a little bit, and you're just hold this for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then, here's the part where the tremors tend to start. Let's see if we can see this pretty well. From here, back here. All right. You want to get in this position where your legs are together. You're not too far in. You're not too far out. You're just in the middle, like this. Oops, there we go. Your arms can be wherever is comfortable, sides, up, down. You're going to raise your lower back and your pelvis off the ground. Hold that. hold that for about a minute, or until you start like shaking a bit. You feel the tremors a bit. Like this. Feel like this. Your legs are open. And hold that for a bit. Sometimes I feel my pelvis go like this a little bit, but you don't want to force it, just let it happen. Next step is you let your lower back down and you get in the same position. It's like a loose butterfly stretch, you know. You kind of rest for a minute or so, and then you raise your legs a few inches and simply like relax your legs and let them, they might start doing something like trembling a little bit. Then you raise after a few minutes of that, or after you feel like it's good enough, you move your legs in, upwards a little more, and let, stay there as long as you want to until you feel like something's really happening. Then you kind of put your legs down. What I think your feet are on the ground, but your hips are still kind of open. So I don't think it's like this at the Viking breathing. I think it's like this, and your legs are a bit open. So my legs already want to tremble a little bit in this position, and you let whatever happens happen. What I found, it's good to, if you're not feeling anything, just move your legs open just a little bit more. Experiment with opening them like that and holding. You're not holding with a lot of muscle tension. You're just holding only as much as you need to. And you try opening, and then you try closing, hold, close more, hold. Just keep returning. Sometimes I'll return here and see what happens here. And just let whatever tremors happen occur. There we go. So, I think I sent you some links. Yeah. So it's 7 basically exercises. This guy's done this with school children. He's done this with like trauma victims the world over. And this isn't some like new age cure-all technique. This is something this guy does on seriously traumatized people in war-torn parts of the world and things like that. So it's just, to me this is something legit. So I hope this can benefit you and you will have time to play with it. I hope it makes sense and my directions were good enough. Let me just show you what the guy looks like on the ground in the picture. You can see that. The legs are open. Oh, and I forgot to say, in both exercises, both the breathing I was talking about in my last video and this, afterwards you want to be, the yoga corpse pose. You just basically want to lay down, extend your legs out, lay down flat, and just kind of report on sensations to yourself. What is going on? What do you feel? And just kind of be with what you're feeling and how everything is. And just be with that for a few minutes. Trying to integrate everything. It's a good time to do meditation afterwards too, but I know you don't have time to do much of that. But to me, these are like part of a primal lifestyle. Being able to do like a psychological bodywork practices like this, like to me, are like foundational. It's not just going out playing, exercise, and diet and sleep. This is one piece that I think most paleo people aren't qualified enough to teach to random people, and a lot of people need more body work because you can cover all your bases, but we have so many accumulated tensions and what we call wrong work of body, that we live we have a mansion, and most of us only go to the first few rooms. We die only going to a few rooms. We don't see the upstairs and all the other things, our greater potential. So I hope this benefits you, and email me with any questions, Dan.